Good evening, everybody. This is Ambasti here, casting a Firefall PvP match. So this is another one of my daily matches. I skipped a few days because I've been casting the Firefall, the Legends tournament for Vex Gaming, and I'm going to sort of count that as counting towards my cast at least one match a day on average thing. I'm going to see if I can catch up, but just because that's kept me so busy, I'm already a little bit behind. Anyway, this is actually a match from that tournament that wasn't cast on the main stream. This is BRZ versus the Herd. This is the Polish team versus the community team from the Herd. I'm going to be casting a bunch of these matches for my daily, and I believe this match has already started. So we're here on the rig. Now we've got fairly similar team compositions. The fighting actually starts right away, immediately. The Herd here is in blue, BRZ is in red, and the Herd definitely gets the benefit of this engagement. Actually, BRZ trying to abuse the Herd's clumped upness and actually coming in from behind, but quickly forced to retreat. The Herd at the moment is in a very defensible position. I've said before, this back room is extremely defensible. It's extremely hard to get to, and it's extremely hard to attack. Which is kind of why that attack didn't really work out for BRZ. The Herd is moving out a little bit now. Since we're in a short lull in the action, let's talk quickly about team comps. We've got 3 Assaults, a Biotech, and a Recon on the Herd. Recon really an interesting choice here, because Recons really aren't that favored in this map. BRZ choosing instead to replace that Recon with an Engineer. So we have 3 Assaults, a Biotech, and an Engineer coming out from BRZ. And BRZ is actually moving along this right position here. They're going to try and see if they can make something happen here. Let us follow them into this fight. It looks like the Herd has spotted them and the fighting is beginning. Let's switch over to Pirate Cam, see what's going on there. Really, I think this is a better fight for the Herd because BRZ is extremely clumped up right now, and we can actually see it in the health tab. BRZ has taken a lot of damage in this already. But Pyre now pushing forward, looks like he could get a kill off on Rarity from this if he hits the shots. I believe he missed. Yes, Rarity is still alive, actually got healed up almost immediately by that Biotech. Both teams running only one Biotech, so a lot of the damage that these teams do here is going to stick around for a while. Generally, a lot of teams will run 2 Biotechs in order to maintain maximum healing. 2 Biotechs really seems to be the optimal. You sacrifice a little bit of damage, but you get an insane amount of healing out of it. Pyre now pushing forward. Both teams sort of just poking away at each other, trying to feel each other out, trying to make something happen. In a lot of Firefall competitive matches, what happens is that once a pick goes down, that's what a team will consider to engage. And we can actually see here Terracon and Axiomus from the Herd pushing forward. And looks like actually getting some kills here. So the Herd continuing to really dominate this match. Taking sort of advantage of that one pick they got off at the top. I actually think, in large part, what happened was that BRZ's position really is not a position that I like. They were poking in through the doors to try and get poke off, but really what just ended up happening is that the Herd, whenever they tried to poke in the doors, would just shoot them. And the Herd having the central position here on the container that we're actually sitting on right now, actually had access to most of the health packs on this map. So BRZ really found itself in a position where they couldn't poke advantageously and they couldn't keep control of the health packs. And I think that's in large part for the reason the fight went so long. At this point, BRZ's pushed back all the way to their spawn. And unfortunately for them, this is not the spawn that's as defensible as the one on the other side. So actually, let's switch over to the other side of this and get another perspective. BRZ here really pushed all the way back to these containers, and this isn't really ground that favors the Herd in any sort of way, but it's not ground that favors them, and that's really something they want. I mean, it's kind of obvious you want positioning that favors you, but since they're also forced back to their spawn, they can't really fall back anymore, and when you're under this much pressure, falling back is a key component of play, and they've just run out of room. Essentially now, if the Herd chooses to engage, they have to fight, and the Herd can just back out whenever they want. We actually see that a little bit here. We can see the Herd off in the distance in spectator mode. Let's just leave that because whoever we were watching was jumping around a lot. We can see the Herd off here in the distance in spectator mode, and they have access to all these health packs, and they're just taking their time, and they can take their time, which is why BRZ is in such a dangerous position right now. And that's something they're going to have to work to break out of, and that should really be their next objective in this match. Brezel's now actually going up to the side, looking to make something happen, lands a full combo, immediately shoots down Pari. And this could be the Herd's cue to engage. They do, of course, have the option of just sitting back here now because they are ahead, but BRZ just has a player down now. And that's going to mean, well, of course, they can't really push out now. And the Herd can really choose to engage here. Now, it does look like they are going to stick back. I think this is a smart decision in part because BRZ is running an Engineer. We actually saw Brezzles here taking out a turret. So they do have a bit more of a fortified position here in the back, especially because they're on the outside, so the Herd can't really get the angles they need to take out the turrets before going in. But once again, this positioning doesn't look sustainable on BRZ's end, just because both teams are only running a single biotech, so they don't have a lot of heals on their own, and the Herd has been in consistent control of the main meta pack throughout this match. Now, something that is worth noting, that I forgot to mention before, is that BRZ, of course, has the advantage of having a supply station. Supply stations essentially allow engineers to play half engineer, half bio, half assault, and it does look like we actually have an engage going off here. We're going to try to switch to a view where we can better see what's going on here. BRZ has made their move. They have gone in. Redzik has already gone down, though, and is being executed by Axiamos. Supermisk has gone down, too. Pirate is on the outside right now. I don't see Pari. Pari is underneath. Here we really see why this engagement isn't going so well for BRZ. The Herd is just really nicely grouped up, and they get out way ahead in this engagement as well. So the Herd now is a little bit low, but they do have the biotech and they do have control of the health packs. BRZ continuing to push in. They've gained a little bit of ground here. That's great for them. Supermisk still in position here, still pushing in, but sort of stuck in the corner here, is going to get AoE'd to death immediately. BRZ following in one at a time. I really think they need to group up a little bit and try to go in more coordinated. Another member of BRZ just goes down one after the other. And here we have another fight going down. A beautiful missile shot getting Brezzles right before he manages to get to that health pack. But still, we see BRZ in this position where they just went in one at a time. They filtered in, and now they've lost 3 assaults in a row, these fights. Execute shot taking out a member of BRZ. Actually, it's Redzik as well, and Redzik goes down. Shanghai, extremely low. Forced to play defensively once again. And BRZ is pushed back all the way to their spawn. And we're back to this unsustainable position that they're in. Pushing forward a little bit again now. A little bit of poke going down. And the Herd's just content to sit back here and counter poke with poke. Because like I said, they do have control of the health packs. Brezzles is just going to sit here and probably wait for the center health pack to come up. Yes, that's what he's going to do. He's going to sit in the container. He actually flies over the container a little bit. That actually is something that happens to me a lot as well. That afterburner just too powerful at tier 2. Something that has to be taken into consideration. And BRZ is actually on the verge of making a push in here into the center of the map. They are at higher, or were at higher health than the Herd. They did take a lot of AoE in trying to make that push now. Now they're trying to push out of this entrance. And I think at this point, it's a push that's become unsustainable. Supermisk attempts the flank, but fails. I think they would have needed to send at least 2 assaults to engage in that flank successfully. Terracon goes down, though. So actually 2 members of the Herd down, only 1 member of BRZ. BRZ is going to push in here. The D is going to go down. Pirate chasing down that last target. And here comes Rarity, and I think Rarity really overextended just a little bit. Needed to fall back there because the Herd was mostly down. Axiamos trying to get the revive off is a little bit too far forward, though. Gets caught by Pyra. Pyra actually goes down to an assault combo from, I believe, Brezzles. Brezzles does get the execute off, but that does cost him some HP. Looks like he actually is going to get out of there with his life, though. Actually gets the revive off on Axiamos. So some beautiful revives coming off from the Herd, maintaining that extremely large point lead they have there. At this point, the Herd is half a wipe away from actually taking this game. And I don't really see BRZ being able to come back from this. It's not that the Herd was playing that much better. They were playing better. I mean, the points reflects that. These teams aren't too far apart. But